Your words are the seeds of your future. Every sentence you speak, every thought you express aloud carries energy. This energy, whether positive or negative, shapes your reality in ways you may not even realize. The words you use influence not only your own subconscious mind, but also the people around you. They define how others perceive you, how you perceive yourself, and ultimately the results you attract into your life. People who consistently speak about struggle, lack, and failure unknowingly program their minds to accept those conditions as normal. They talk about being broke, about bad luck, about how hard life is, and they reinforce those ideas with every conversation. Eventually, their words become their truth. The subconscious mind does not filter between what is good or bad for you. It simply accepts what you feed it. Repeated statements, even made casually, solidify into beliefs, and beliefs turn into actions. If you constantly tell yourself that opportunities are scarce, that success is for others, or that life is unfair, you will unknowingly act in ways that confirm those statements. You will miss chances that could have changed your life. You will hesitate when you should have taken action. You will walk through life with an invisible weight holding you back, all because of the words you chose to repeat. On the other hand, those who guard their words and speak with intention create an entirely different reality. They do not deny challenges, but they do not dwell on them. Instead of saying, "I can't afford this," they say, "How can I afford this?" Instead of saying, "I'm not good at this," they say, "I'm learning and improving every day." The shift may seem subtle, but the impact is profound. Words spoken with belief and purpose reshape the mind. They train the brain to search for solutions rather than problems. They keep the focus on possibilities rather than limitations. You can always recognize those who have mastered control over their words. They do not waste time on gossip, complaints, or excuses. They do not engage in conversations that drain their energy or pull them away from their goals. They understand that words are a form of currency, and just like money, they should be spent wisely. You will never hear a truly successful person speak about their limitations more than their potential. They are deliberate with their speech, knowing that what they affirm, they attract. The power of words extends beyond self-talk. It affects relationships, business, and influence. A person who speaks with confidence, clarity, and authority will naturally attract more opportunities. They command respect because their words carry weight. They do not speak just to fill silence. They speak to inspire, to lead, and to make an impact. Their words encourage others, build trust, and open doors that remain shut for those who speak carelessly. In contrast, those who do not control their words sabotage their own progress. They let frustration, anger, or insecurity dictate what they say. They make promises they cannot keep. They speak without thought, damaging relationships and reputations in the process. A single careless statement can cost a business deal, ruin a friendship, or destroy trust that took years to build. Words once spoken cannot be taken back. They have a lasting effect, whether positive or negative. Those who truly understand the power of words take responsibility for their speech. They practice restraint, knowing that not everything needs to be said. They understand that silence at times is more powerful than words. They do not engage in arguments that lead nowhere. They do not explain themselves to those who are committed to misunderstanding them. Instead, they choose their battles wisely, ensuring that when they do speak, their words carry value. The discipline of guarding your words requires conscious effort. It means catching yourself before speaking negatively. It means being mindful of the language you use, especially when discussing your goals and future. It means removing phrases like "I can't," "I'm unlucky," or "it's impossible" from your vocabulary. It means understanding that what you repeatedly say, you begin to believe. And what you believe, you bring into reality. If you want to change your life, start by changing the way you speak. Speak in a way that aligns with the person you want to become. Choose words that uplift, that strengthen, that push you forward rather than hold you back. Speak with intention, knowing that every word is a brick in the foundation of your future. The mind is the foundation upon which all success is built. Every thought that passes through it carries the potential to shape reality. What a person consistently thinks about, they eventually become. The mind is like a fertile field. Whatever is planted in it will grow. If it is filled with doubts, fears, and negativity, those thoughts will manifest in life as failure, hesitation, and missed opportunities. But if it is filled with confidence, clarity, and purpose, those thoughts will materialize as success, persistence, and achievement. Most people allow their minds to be controlled by external circumstances. They react to situations instead of shaping them. If things go well, they feel motivated. If things go wrong, they feel defeated. They let the opinions of others dictate their self-worth. They allow temporary setbacks to convince them that success is impossible. Their minds are scattered, pulled in different directions by fear, distraction, and self-doubt. A mind without discipline is like a ship without a captain, drifting wherever the wind blows, never reaching its true destination. Success is not about luck or talent alone. It is about mental discipline. Those who control their thoughts control their future. They do not allow fear to take root. They do not let the past define them. They do not waste mental energy worrying about things they cannot change. Instead, they focus their thoughts on solutions, opportunities, and goals. They train their minds to see possibility where others see obstacles. When challenges arise, they do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" They ask, "How can I use this to grow?" This shift in mindset separates those who achieve their dreams from those who spend their lives wishing things were different. One of the greatest strengths a person can develop is the ability to direct their thoughts with intention. This means refusing to entertain self-doubt. It means eliminating negative self-talk. It means being conscious of the mental stories that play on repeat and rewriting them when necessary. A weak mind clings to excuses, but a strong mind searches for reasons to push forward. A weak mind is easily discouraged, but a strong mind sees failure as part of the process. The way a person thinks influences every action they take. Someone who believes they are capable of success will take bold steps toward their goals. They will embrace challenges as opportunities to grow. They will remain persistent even when results do not come immediately. But someone who believes success is out of reach will hesitate. They will look for reasons to quit. They will blame circumstances instead of taking control of their own destiny. The difference is not in ability, it is in mindset. The world is full of distractions designed to weaken focus. Social media, negative news, and toxic influences constantly pull the mind in different directions. Without discipline, the mind becomes cluttered with unproductive thoughts. It becomes restless, unable to focus on the things that truly matter. Those who achieve greatness learn to guard their mental space. They limit their exposure to negativity. They choose their influences carefully. They fill their minds with knowledge, ideas, and inspiration that align with their goals. The greatest thinkers, innovators, and leaders all understood the power of a disciplined mind. They knew that success begins internally before it ever materializes externally. They trained themselves to think in ways that empowered them rather than held them back. They rejected small thinking. They refused to let fear dictate their choices. They developed the ability to stay focused, even in the face of adversity. Mental discipline is not something a person is born with. It is a skill that must be developed. It starts with self-awareness. It requires recognizing destructive thought patterns and replacing them with productive ones. It demands consistency. Just as a body becomes stronger through regular exercise, the mind becomes stronger through deliberate practice. The more a person trains their mind to focus on solutions instead of problems, confidence instead of doubt, and action instead of hesitation, the more unstoppable they become. A person's outer world will always be a reflection of their inner world. If their mind is chaotic, their life will be chaotic. If their thoughts are weak, their results will be weak. But if their mind is clear, determined, and focused, their life will reflect strength, purpose, and achievement. Everything begins in the mind. The key to success is not found in external circumstances. It is found in the ability to control and direct thoughts toward a clear and definite purpose. Emotions are powerful forces that can either elevate a person to greatness or pull them down into failure. Those who allow their emotions to control them live in a constant state of reaction, dictated by external circumstances. They feel good when things go their way and spiral into frustration, anger, or despair when challenges arise. Their moods shift based on what others say or do, and their decisions are often impulsive, driven by temporary feelings rather than long-term wisdom. This lack of emotional control weakens their ability to navigate life with clarity and purpose. It makes them unpredictable, easily swayed, and unable to stay committed to their goals. Success requires the ability to manage emotions with discipline. This does not mean suppressing feelings or pretending they do not exist. It means mastering them so they do not interfere with decision-making. It means refusing to let anger dictate actions, fear prevent progress, or sadness create stagnation. It means developing the ability to step back from emotions and view situations with logic and clarity. When a person is emotionally controlled, they respond rather than react. They do not allow momentary frustration to lead them into conflict. They do not let fear of failure stop them from taking bold action. They do not allow temporary discomfort to make them quit on long-term goals. They understand that emotions are temporary, but the consequences of emotional decisions can be permanent. One of the most common ways emotions sabotage success is through impulsive reactions. Many people say or do things in moments of anger or frustration that they later regret. They send messages they should have left unsent. They speak words that damage relationships, burn bridges, or destroy opportunities. They make financial decisions based on fleeting excitement rather than careful planning. They quit on dreams when they feel discouraged, not realizing that the feeling will pass, but the lost opportunity will not return. Every impulsive action driven by emotion has a consequence, and those who do not learn to control their emotions will find themselves constantly correcting mistakes they could have avoided. Fear is another emotion that holds people back. It whispers doubts in the mind, magnifying the possibility of failure while minimizing potential success. Fear convinces people to stay in their comfort zones, even when growth requires them to step beyond it. It creates hesitation, causing them to miss opportunities that could have changed their lives. Those who master emotional control understand that fear is an illusion. It exists only in the mind. They feel fear, but do not let it make decisions for them. They acknowledge it, move forward despite it, and prove to themselves time and time again that fear is nothing more than an obstacle to be overcome. Successful individuals also do not allow external negativity to influence their emotions. They understand that the world is full of critics, doubters, and negative influences that seek to pull others down. They do not take insults personally, nor do they waste time arguing with those who do not matter. They know that responding to negativity with emotion gives power to those who seek to control them. Instead, they remain composed, focused on their purpose, and unaffected by opinions that do not contribute to their growth. Emotional discipline also applies to maintaining motivation and persistence. Many people start with enthusiasm but lose energy when results do not come quickly. They allow discouragement to dictate their actions, giving up before success has a chance to manifest. Those who control their emotions stay committed regardless of how they feel in the moment. They understand that emotions fluctuate, but discipline must remain constant. They push forward even when they are not motivated, knowing that action leads to results, and results fuel motivation. They do not rely on feelings to determine whether they should work toward their goals. They rely on commitment. Mastering emotional control requires self-awareness. It begins with recognizing which emotions trigger impulsive decisions and learning to pause before reacting. It involves developing the ability to step back from a situation, view it objectively, and choose a response that aligns with long-term goals rather than short-term feelings. It requires patience, practice, and the understanding that emotions are tools to be managed, not forces to be obeyed. Those who achieve greatness do so not because they never feel doubt, anger, or fear, but because they refuse to let those emotions dictate their actions. The ability to remain composed in adversity, to push forward in the face of fear, and to stay committed despite temporary feelings is what separates the successful from the average. Emotional mastery is not about eliminating feelings. It is about developing the strength to act with wisdom and intention regardless of how one feels in the moment. Those who learn to control their emotions control their destiny, while those who allow emotions to control them remain prisoners of their circumstances. Money is not just a tool for survival. It is a measure of discipline, intelligence, and the ability to make wise decisions. Those who do not control their money will always be controlled by it. The difference between financial freedom and financial struggle is not just about how much money a person makes. It is about how they manage, invest, and multiply what they have. Many people work hard, earn decent incomes, and still find themselves living paycheck to paycheck, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack financial discipline. They spend impulsively, fail to plan for the future, and make decisions based on short-term desires rather than long-term security. Money flows to those who respect it and escapes from those who abuse it. The financially successful do not see money as something to be wasted on unnecessary luxuries or fleeting pleasures. They see it as a resource to be used strategically. They prioritize investing over spending, assets over liabilities, and growth over instant gratification. Every dollar has a purpose, and they ensure that their money is always working for them. One of the greatest financial traps is the desire to impress others. Many people spend money they do not have on things they do not need to create an image they cannot sustain. They buy expensive cars, designer clothes, and extravagant items not because they genuinely need them, but because they want to appear successful. In reality, true wealth is built in silence. The wealthiest individuals are often not the ones flaunting their riches, but the ones quietly accumulating assets, growing businesses, and making smart investments. A person who truly understands money does not seek validation through material possessions. They understand that financial security is far more valuable than temporary status symbols. Financial discipline begins with understanding the difference between needs and wants. Many people justify excessive spending by convincing themselves that everything they desire is a necessity. They mistake short-term pleasure for long-term value. Those who master money know how to delay gratification. They make sacrifices today for a better tomorrow. They resist impulse purchases, choosing instead to put their money toward things that will bring lasting value: investments, education, business opportunities, and financial security. One of the most powerful financial habits is saving with intention. Many people save what is left after spending, but the wealthy do the opposite. They spend what is left after saving. They prioritize setting aside a portion of their income before anything else. They treat saving as a non-negotiable commitment, just like paying a bill. Over time, small, consistent savings turn into significant wealth. They do not rely on willpower alone. They create systems, automate their savings, and build a financial foundation that protects them in times of uncertainty. Beyond saving, the financially wise understand the importance of investing. Saving money is not enough because inflation erodes its value over time. Money must be put to work. Those who achieve financial freedom do not let their money sit idle. They find ways to make it grow. They invest in stocks, real estate, businesses, and other vehicles that generate passive income. They understand the power of compounding and allow their wealth to multiply over time. Instead of working for money endlessly, they reach a point where money works for them. Financial control also means understanding the dangers of debt. Many people live in a cycle of borrowing, constantly trying to catch up with payments on credit cards, loans, and unnecessary expenses. Debt is not always bad. When used wisely, it can be a tool for building wealth, but for most people, it is a trap that keeps them financially enslaved. Those who master their money are cautious about taking on debt. They do not finance a lifestyle they cannot afford. They use credit strategically, only when it benefits them financially, and they ensure they are never in a position where debt controls their decisions. One of the most overlooked aspects of financial success is mindset. Many people have a negative relationship with money, shaped by fear, scarcity, or limiting beliefs. They believe that money is hard to earn, that it is evil, or that they are not meant to be wealthy. These beliefs create self-sabotaging habits, keeping them stuck in financial struggle. The financially successful, however, see money as a tool for freedom, growth, and opportunity. They do not fear it, resent it, or waste it. They learn about it, respect it, and use it wisely. Those who control their money are not easily influenced by economic downturns, market fluctuations, or temporary setbacks. They plan for the future, build multiple streams of income, and prepare for uncertainty. They understand that financial security is not a matter of luck. It is a result of consistent, disciplined habits. They do not make emotional financial decisions. Instead, they approach money with logic, patience, and strategy. Mastering money is not about how much a person earns. It is about how well they manage what they have. Many people make millions and still end up broke, while others earn modest incomes and build generational wealth. The key is discipline, strategy, and a mindset focused on long-term financial success. The person who controls their money controls their future, while those who let money control them will always be at the mercy of their circumstances. The company a person keeps has the power to shape their mindset, influence their decisions, and ultimately determine their level of success. Every conversation, every interaction, and every relationship either adds value or takes it away. Those who surround themselves with negative, complacent, or small-minded individuals will inevitably adopt the same habits, beliefs, and limitations. On the other hand, those who choose to be in the presence of ambitious, disciplined, and forward-thinking individuals will find themselves elevated to greater heights. Success is not just about what one does, it is also about who one allows into their life. Many people fail to recognize the silent influence of their social circles. They believe that they can maintain their ambitions while surrounding themselves with people who lack drive, vision, or discipline. But energy is contagious. When a person spends time with those who complain, doubt, and make excuses, they slowly absorb those patterns. They begin to lower their standards, justify mediocrity, and tolerate behaviors that once seemed unacceptable. A person does not have to be negative themselves to be affected by negativity. Proximity alone is enough to weaken focus and determination. This is why successful individuals are intentional about their association. They do not spend time with those who drain their energy, sabotage their goals, or distract them from their vision. They seek out people who inspire them, challenge them, and push them to grow. They understand that their mindset is their most valuable asset, and they protect it by choosing relationships that strengthen rather than weaken their drive. They surround themselves with mentors, high achievers, and those who have already accomplished what they aspire to achieve. One of the greatest mistakes people make is holding on to relationships out of guilt, nostalgia, or obligation. They remain in friendships or partnerships that no longer serve them because they fear judgment or loneliness. But success demands difficult decisions. It requires letting go of those who no longer align with one's values, ambitions, or growth. It requires recognizing that not everyone is meant to continue the journey. Some people belong to past versions of oneself, and holding on to them only delays progress. Toxic relationships do not always appear harmful at first glance. Some people seem supportive, but secretly resent growth. Others may offer encouragement, but subtly plant seeds of doubt. Are you sure that's a good idea? Maybe you should be more realistic. I don't think that's possible. These statements might seem harmless, but over time they erode confidence and create hesitation. The wrong people do not have to tell a person to fail. They simply need to make them question their own potential. That is why the most successful individuals eliminate any relationship that introduces doubt, negativity, or limitation into their mindset. Equally dangerous are those who bring unnecessary drama, distractions, or instability into one's life. Success requires focus, and focus cannot thrive in chaos. A person who constantly deals with other people's problems, arguments, and emotional turmoil will have little energy left to build their own future. Those who prioritize success ensure that their inner circle is filled with people who bring peace, motivation, and accountability. They do not waste time with those who thrive on conflict or create unnecessary complications. The most valuable relationships are those that push a person to become their best self. These are the people who offer constructive criticism, not out of envy, but out of genuine desire to see growth. They are the ones who challenge laziness, call out excuses, and remind their friends of their potential. They celebrate victories, but also hold high standards. They do not allow those around them to settle for less than they are capable of achieving. They inspire action, provide perspective, and remind others of what is possible when discipline and ambition are applied consistently. Some people hesitate to distance themselves from limiting relationships because they fear loneliness. But solitude is often better than bad company. Time spent alone in growth, reflection, and self-improvement is more valuable than time wasted in environments that breed complacency. Many of the world's greatest achievers experienced periods of isolation, not because they had no options, but because they refused to settle for relationships that did not align with their purpose. They understood that success often requires a season of separation before elevation. Just as one must remove negative influences, they must also seek out powerful, inspiring, and successful individuals to learn from. The fastest way to grow is to surround oneself with those who have already achieved what one desires. The right mentors, business partners, and friends accelerate progress by offering wisdom, insight, and experience. They provide strategies, challenge outdated beliefs, and expand perspectives. They serve as reminders of what is possible and create an environment where high performance becomes the standard. Choosing the right people is not just about success, it is about identity. A person's environment shapes their thoughts, and their thoughts shape their reality. If they are surrounded by discipline, excellence, and ambition, they will absorb those qualities. If they are surrounded by laziness, negativity, and distraction, they will absorb those as well. It is a simple but unbreakable truth. A person becomes like the people they spend the most time with. That is why the strongest, most successful individuals do not leave their associations to chance. They select them with intention, knowing that their future depends on it. Time is the most valuable resource a person possesses. Unlike money, which can be earned and multiplied, time is finite. Once it is spent, it can never be recovered. Every day, every hour, and every minute is either an investment in success or a step toward mediocrity. The way a person uses their time determines their future. Those who waste it on distractions, trivial activities, or unproductive habits will find themselves looking back with regret, wondering where the years have gone. On the other hand, those who guard their time with discipline, use it strategically, and focus on activities that create growth will achieve extraordinary success. Many people fail to recognize how much time they waste. They engage in endless conversations that lead nowhere, scroll through social media for hours, binge watch television shows, and engage in activities that provide temporary pleasure but no lasting value. They convince themselves that they are relaxing or taking a break, but in reality they are allowing time to slip through their fingers without purpose. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not intelligence, luck, or talent. It is how they use their time. Every successful person has the same 24 hours as everyone else, yet they achieve more because they prioritize their time with intention. One of the most common ways time is wasted is through procrastination. Many people know what they need to do but delay taking action. They make excuses, wait for the perfect moment, or convince themselves that they are not ready. But the perfect moment does not exist. Those who achieve great things understand that waiting accomplishes nothing, only action moves them forward. They do not allow fear, doubt, or hesitation to rob them of their potential. They take immediate action, knowing that progress is made one step at a time. They do not wait for motivation to strike. They create it through disciplined effort. Another way time is lost is through saying yes to everything. Many people feel obligated to attend events, participate in unnecessary meetings, or help others at the expense of their own priorities. They fear disappointing others, so they sacrifice their time on activities that do not align with their goals. Successful individuals do the opposite. They protect their time fiercely. They understand that every yes to something unimportant is a no to something meaningful. They set clear boundaries, decline distractions, and prioritize tasks that bring them closer to their vision. They do not let others dictate their schedule or pull them away from their mission. Discipline is the foundation of effective time management. Many people rely on inspiration or mood to determine their productivity, but this is a mistake. If a person only works when they feel like it, they will never achieve greatness. The most successful individuals do not allow their emotions to control their actions. They create schedules, set deadlines, and hold themselves accountable, even when they do not feel motivated. They understand that small, consistent efforts compound over time, leading to massive results. They do not make excuses, they make progress. Focus is another essential element of time control. Many people mistake being busy for being productive. They fill their days with low-value tasks, constantly switch between activities, and mistake movement for achievement. But true productivity comes from focused, intentional work. The most successful people eliminate distractions, concentrate deeply on important tasks, and complete them efficiently. They do not allow emails, phone calls, or notifications to interrupt their deep work. They set aside dedicated time for their highest priority tasks and execute them with full attention. The ability to delegate is also crucial in mastering time. Many individuals try to do everything themselves, believing that they must control every detail. But this approach limits their growth. Time is best spent on activities that create the most value. The most effective individuals delegate tasks that do not require their personal attention, allowing them to focus on what truly matters. They leverage the skills of others, build strong teams, and understand that success is not about doing everything alone. It is about ensuring that everything gets done efficiently. Rest and recovery are also part of controlling time wisely. Many believe that success requires working endlessly, never taking a break, and pushing themselves to exhaustion. But sustainable success requires balance. The most productive individuals do not burn themselves out. They structure their time to include rest, reflection, and renewal. They know that a well-rested mind is sharper, more creative, and more effective. They do not confuse rest with laziness. They see it as a necessary strategy to maintain peak performance. Every second wasted is a second that could have been used to build a better future. Those who take their time seriously do not allow it to slip away unnoticed. They track how they spend their hours, cut out unnecessary activities, and refine their routines for maximum efficiency. They wake up each day with a plan, knowing that every decision shapes their destiny. They do not live reactively, they live intentionally. The world does not reward those who waste time. It rewards those who use it wisely. The greatest opportunities belong to those who are prepared, focused, and disciplined with their time. Those who master their hours master their future. Every moment is a choice, and those who make the right choices consistently will rise above those who let time control them.